So I am on the hunt again. I'm actually going to head south of where I live to a couple of areas. One of them is called Campbell. There is a shop there called Heroes that I've heard a lot about. I've never been before. So we're going to head over there. We're going to see what we can see. Hopefully we'll find some good stuff. And then I'm also going to hit another shop that I've gone to 2 times before. And I found some awesome books at this place before. As soon as you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you've been watching these videos. But we're going to head over there. And that is actually located in Sunnyvale. So we're going to hit, hopefully 2 shops and then be back here at home in time to accept the delivery from my wife. So that'll be today's challenge, to get to these 2 shops, which are not exactly close, and then get back in time. Hopefully, when I get back here, I will be able to show you guys some awesome books that I've picked up. And maybe along the way, I'll show you the insides of the shops, and then also talk a little bit about my experience in these shops as well. So wish me luck. This content is sponsored by BCW Supplies. Visit them at bcwsupplies.com. So it was a little bit of a drive to get here. The traffic was awful, but we have arrived at Heroes and the shop is open. So we are going to head inside. And again, hope that we find some good stuff. No clue what this shop is about, but always hoping for a good experience. So that was actually a really cool shop. It's a small shop, but it's actually pretty nice in there. They have a lot of awesome toys, a lot of back issue comics, a lot of slabs. I mean, there were walls of slabs but in there, from Silver Age to Golden Age, some Bronze Age stuff. It was actually an impressive store. I actually walked away empty-handed for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of their inventory is actually not here. It is on its way back from Seattle. And then it's headed down to WonderCon in Anaheim. So a lot of what I was really interested in actually wasn't here in the shop. The other reason is that their prices are really high. And it doesn't matter whether you're talking about slabs or raw books. The prices were high, in some cases 2 to 3 times above what I've seen books for in other shops. I mean, you're talking, random X-Men books that are $20 and $30 raw. It's just really high prices. So nice shop, not necessarily my kind of shop. And I think the part of it is the area that I'm in. The rents and things like that are really high down here, and that might be why they're charging what they're charging. But about 20 minutes away, I can get the exact same book for, like I said, a considerably less amount of money. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to head to the next comic shop and hopefully have better luck at the next shop than what we were able to see here. I am, however, going to probably see these guys down at WonderCon, because I am headed to WonderCon. And so I may actually have already gone to WonderCon by the time you guys see this. But I may see these guys at WonderCon. I'll probably hit their booth up, check out their inventory, see what they have, and maybe hope for better prices. Probably not, because it will be con prices, but one could always think positive. So I am running a little short on time. I just finished up in the second shop. I was able to pick up a couple of books. I looked at a healthy number of books, but I only walked away with 2 based upon the combination of the condition and the prices that I was seeing on the other books. I decided to not pick up more than that. I think it was a good decision, because I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to find these exact same books elsewhere, probably in better condition, if not for the same or a slightly better price. And to some degree or another, I think that this speaks to the importance of knowing your market, knowing what books are going for, feeling confident that you can actually find that same book elsewhere. I don't feel compelled to buy it today because I hold hope, again, that I can find it elsewhere, better price, better condition, etc., etc. So picked up a couple of books, had a good experience as always. I really do like this shop. I like the owner because I talk to him via text message. I like the guys that work in the shop that I interact with whenever I come here. So this is definitely a shop that I dig. So we'll probably be back here. We'll be back at some point. We'll probably pick up some other things. They had some really nice books, as you saw. There were some books that you didn't see, like the first appearance of Juggernaut. I want that X-Men book. Sooner or later, I will buy that book. But I am a little pressed for time, but I am going to hit that third shop. It is actually on the way home, so we are going to go there. It is 4.9 miles away. We should be there in about 10 minutes, and then we'll see what we see there, and then certainly I'm going to be speeding home to make it there in time. So I was being rather ambitious with my attempt to hit 3 comic shops in a row, given the time crunch that I was under. And it backfired. When I was en route to the third shop, my wife sent me a message saying that the delivery was 30 minutes out and I was at least 30 minutes away from the house. So I very quickly rerouted myself home. About 5 minutes after the first message from my wife, another message comes out where she says the delivery has already been made. Thankfully, we had someone at the house that was able to receive it, but I found myself out of position for that third shop and also didn't have a need to now rush home. So I decided to reroute myself yet again to a third shop, a shop that I haven't been to in well over a year. It's a place called Chris's Comics in Fremont. I haven't been here in quite some time. My collection has changed. My approach to collecting has changed since I was here last. So I'm not quite sure what to expect out of this place. But we're going to head in here and we're going to see what we can see. As best I can, I'll take some photos and kind of document what's happening in here. But I felt kind of bad leaving you guys hanging after, striking out in the first shop, scoring in the second shop, but it was more of like a double than anything else, maybe a single even. And so I wanted to hit up this third shop with the hope that we can see some good stuff. So that was totally worth it. I haven't been here in quite some time and a lot has changed. When I was here before, the store was a little chaotic, and it was chaotic because they were in the middle of cataloging the entire collection. That process has moved along, and I think Chris told me that he's about 60% through the cataloging of his inventory. And so as a result of that, the shop was a little better organized. I was able to get access to the back area, which I was not able to do before. Had a chance to look at some books back there. Chris also pulled some books for me from behind the counter, some lower number books. Not a whole lot for me that I didn't already have, but I did manage to pick up a couple of books. I also had a really cool conversation with another shop owner, which is always fun. So I'm going to head home now. I've got a couple of things I have to do, but my hope is later tonight I will be able to show you guys the books that I've picked up as part of the hunt. So I am back in the comic book room and I am ready to show you guys the books that I picked up earlier today. As you saw, I hit 3 different comic shops in 3 different cities over the course of this afternoon, and I walked away with a grand total of 4 books. It was not necessarily a good day today, but I am pleased with the books that I ended up getting. I had some great conversations with the people working in the shops and then one shop owner, and it was just a fun day to be out. The weather was great, the sun was out, and I was having fun hunting for some books. So I picked up 4, but I saw a lot more awesome books than that. The first appearance of Juggernaut was one that really jumped out at me. I think it was the origin of Captain America Retold that jumped out at me. I saw probably 8 copies of Swamp Thing, #1, but it was a good day all in all. I saw 2 books that I would not mind having in the collection. The prices were just a little high for me, so I'm actually thinking about reaching out to the shop owner to see if we can have a conversation about what we can do about that price. And my hope is that maybe those books will find their way to a video here very soon. So fingers crossed that we can make that magic happen. But I have 4 books that I want to show you guys that I picked up. No surprise to anyone that there are 4 Amazing Spider-Man books in front of me. So we're going to run through these 4. There's nothing major here, but they are good books, right? And these are books that allow me to continue crossing books off of my list, right? Because I'm trying to put together a run of Amazing Spider-Man, so it gets me closer to that overall goal. And no, I am not close, but getting closer every day. I am really focused right now on Amazing Spider-Man below 260. I have many of the other books in the 200s, the 300s, 400s, and so on, but I had to, draw a line in the sand. And so I'm really focused on those sub 260 some odd books that I am missing. So the first book that I have in front of me is this one. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 32. And when I looked this one up in the Key Collector app, it basically said that in this issue, Spider-Man demonstrates an incredible feat of strength. That is the significance of this issue, and I didn't want to put that on a label, so I'm just conveying it right now. And as you can see, Spider-Man is indeed demonstrating an amazing feat of strength, ripping up some steel machinery of some sort. But this is a really nice copy of this book. I would probably grade this one at maybe a 4.5. There's some damage going on the spine, lots of spine ticks, and there's some dings down here in this lower right hand corner. But overall, in terms of eye appeal, it is an attractive book. The purples, the greens, and the yellows all kind of pop the way that they should. So I'm very pleased with the overall appearance of the book. It's just, again, some spine ticks. When I opened the book up in the shop, it looked pretty good on the inside. The back side is a little dirty and could probably use a good cleaning. But overall, this is a pretty solid book that I'm happy to have in the collection. The next book that I have actually has some significance to it, and it has a label here. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 37. This is the first appearance of Norman Osborn. I am actually in the middle of reading this issue and thoroughly enjoying it. This guy recently got out of jail. He created a couple of robots, one of which tore up a laboratory, and Spider-Man fought him in the middle of a fire in that laboratory. I haven't reached the second part of the story, but I'm excited about it. I know that it involves a robot with a destructive beam of some sort. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this issue a little bit later tonight. This one has some kind of stamp across the top, and I can't quite make out the stamp, but I'm hopeful if I can get it in the right light that I'll actually be able to read it. I would probably say that this book is maybe a 7 to maybe even an 8. When I looked at this one in the light at an angle, very few imperfections in the cover of this book, which was very surprising. The back, relatively white. Pages on the inside, relatively clean. There are a few spine ticks, but other than that, this book is in solid shape. Definitely pleased to have this one. And when I picked this one up, I think there were 2 others that I could have picked. And I definitely believe that I picked the best of what was available in the shop, as you should, right? The next book that I picked up is Amazing Spider-Man number 9. This is actually the king size annual. This is a pretty nice cover featuring Green Goblin. This book is in decent shape, and I actually picked up this book and the next one that I'm about to show you from Chris's Comics. That was the last shop that I went to, and I'm very focused on the regular Amazing Spider-Man, but when I see really nice annuals and king size issues, I try to pick those up as well. And this is definitely a pretty nice copy. I would probably put this one at maybe a 6 to a 7. I think it could definitely use a good cleaning. And so often what happens with square-bound books, there's a little bit of some wear and tear on that spine and also where the staples are. But it's a pretty nice copy. Again, pleased to have it. Didn't pay a whole lot for it, so you can't be too mad at that. And then the very last book that I picked up has some significance as well. This is Amazing Spider-Man 259. This is where Spidey returns to his classic costume. And I think he also not only returns to his classic costume, he breaks out some cool gadgets. So I'm looking forward to reading this one because I haven't yet, but I think it's going to be a pretty good issue. So I'm actually looking forward to reading this one on Marvel Unlimited. This one is a pretty nice copy. Again, a couple of spine ticks. I'm looking at maybe 3 color breaking spine ticks right now. But overall, again, in decent shape. I would maybe put this one at a mid-grade as well, but definitely a solid book to have. So there you have it. That is my haul for today. Again, nothing major, but all pretty solid books that allow me to check several off of my overall list. I am actually, I believe, headed to an area called Niles tomorrow. This area in Niles is known for like antiques. And so I think there's like 9 antique stores or something like that in a row. I'm actually going to hunt over there tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to find or what I'm going to see, but I will try to capture that footage as best I can. And if you are enjoying these hunting videos, be sure to check out the channel for other videos. I think I have like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these videos by this point. And I think they're pretty fun. So if you get a chance, check those out. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I definitely encourage you to do so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release on a weekly basis. And if you need to reach me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Gmail and also Regie Collects on Instagram. Take care.